Bloody Mary Podcast.
Welcome to the Bloody Mary Podcast, where we talk about all things horror while drinking a Bloody Mary. I am Jesse.
And I am Tammy. And we are totally married. We got our Bloody Marys, and tonight we are reviewing Fear Street Prom Queen.
Yep. Fear Street Prom Queen. We're going to do spoiler free.
Yes.
And then we'll get into spoilers, so don't worry about it. We'll let you know. But before we start talking about this movie, we have merch and an Amazon wish list.
We do.
Yeah. What do we got on that Amazon wish list?
Oh, we got some big things like equipment, mics, cameras, cool shit. We got small things like Bloody Mary mix, some tiki mugs, shit like that. And on our merch, we have some t-shirts, some hats, some fun, cool shit.
Yeah.
Check it out.
www.bloodymarypodcast.com. And more importantly, what would help us right now is to comment, like, share, and subscribe. We need some subscribers.
Yeah, we do.
We want to reach 500 subscribers by the end of summer. So spread this around. Spread it around. There's more stuff on the YouTube channel other than this podcast. There's short films.
There is. You got some pretty rad short films on there.
All my stuff. If you go way back years and years, you can find reenactments with me with short blonde hair and my brother doing a Home Alone reenactment that still gets many, many views to this day.
That's so funny.
So, all right. Fear Street Prom Queen. What did you think about this?
I thought that it was okay. It did not live up to the Fear Street trilogy that we had previously received. And so that was a bit of a letdown. I did like the bit of the twist, the reveal at the end. I thought that was fun. And, you know, they kill it on the soundtracks. Like, their soundtrack and their score is always really good.
Yeah, I think they spent all their budget on music. They had like 50 80s hits in this.
They totally blow their load on their music.
So before we talk about it a little bit more, if you haven't, Fear Street Prom Queen, the plot is it's prom. Bunch of girls are going to prom, and a killer is knocking off the
candidates.
The candidates.
Prom Queen candidates.
One by one. It's a whodunit and who's killing them and why.
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of a simple.
Who's killing the prom queen?
Simple, cut. Just a simple hour-and-a-half slasher. That should be good.
That should be good. All right. Well, why don't you tell me what you think about it?
Well, when we watched it, in the moment, we were both, that was good. That was average. It wasn't as good as the other ones, but it was entertaining. I still agree that it was entertaining to a point, but the week that's gone by since I've watched it, it's marinated in wow. I do not like this. It sucks. Compared to Fear Street, it was great. The Fear Street trilogy we got like some years ago. We rated it as our favorite film or films of that year on this podcast.
We did.
They were acted. Sadie Sink was in it. A whole bunch of other actresses and actresses that were really great. Directed well. The score was from who the fuck is the guy who's
Marco Beltrami.
Marco Beltrami. He does the Scream.
He does
movies. So he did the score. The soundtrack was really good.
The kills were great.
Yeah, the kills were good. But in this is like whatever budget they had, they didn't put it towards one thing to make that one thing great. They just spread the budget thin and gave us mediocre acting, mediocre script, mediocre directing, and mediocre kills.
Yeah.
And it was such a letdown because I love 80s and I love 80s horror movies. I would love to direct an 80s horror film. So to see someone, and this is a relatively new director. He's done like short films. He did one film before this, which I haven't seen. And then he's done this. Mm-hmm. So if I was given the opportunity to make an 80s horror film in an established franchise, oh my God, I would put my heart and soul into it.
You would, yes.
And to me, it seems like, and I don't know, I couldn't tell, just observing, he put zero heart and soul into this film.
You can tell when a director or cast, even if they're not the greatest and the script isn't that great, you can tell when they're having fun and they have passion behind it.
Yes.
And they love what they're doing and, they love the genre, they love 80s, they love, all of that. You can tell, even if it's not the best movie, it elevates it a little bit because you can just feel it.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, without spoiling anything, like all the kills are CG. And even if you would have just like put your money into practical effects, that would have made up for so much.
Nope.
And you know what? There's the actors that are in here, I think can be good. And I think there are some decent performances, but what they're given, the material and the direction, I think they failed the director failed the actors and the actresses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think that all of the money that they had for their budget went to the music.
It did.
Yeah.
It did, for sure.
They blew their load on the music, and then they didn't even put it where it should go, which is the kills and the blood and the gore and all of that stuff.
Or maybe another pass on the fucking script.
Oh, that too. But like,
yeah.
even if they had that script, if they had practical effects.
If you give me that script, I would have made a better film.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yes. Oh my God. I think we have to get into spoilers.
Okay. So what did you rate it?
At the time when we watched it, I was like, this is a 5. But, and like, I don't know.
And you marinated on it.
It's below average.
It is.
It's not terrible. We've seen a lot worse films.
Howling series.
Yeah. And you have to, there's no way you can't compare this to the other Fear Streets because this belongs in that universe.
Right.
That's a 4. I think it's a 4 out of 5. Ask me tomorrow, it's a 2. Ask me the next day, it's never going to be a 6.
No.
It'll never go higher than a 5 for me.
It'll never peak past a 5.
Yeah. What about you?
I give it a 5. I'll give it a 5. It was still entertaining to a point. I like the music. I like the reveal twist at the end.
I do like that.
Like seeing the Fear Streets being brought to life in movies. So.
Yeah, I've never read the book, so it's a little bit different for you. Yeah. So what gives you that extra point than me? What do you like a little bit better about this movie that I don't?
I just think for me, I always put it up against other shitty films that I've watched. Yeah. And for me, it's a 5. It's not like it could be a 4 in a couple of days. If I watch it again, I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, 4. Or I'll fall asleep to it and there's good screams and it stays at a 5.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Well, let's get into spoilers.
All right. Spoilers. Pause.
Spoiler alert. Go to Netflix.
Watch it or just listen if you love spoilers and it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah. Go watch it on Netflix. I'm so glad this never made it to the theaters. All right. What do you want to spoil? What do you want to talk about first?
I'm going to talk about the reveal. We're just going straight for it. The reveal I liked because it was, the mass killer, which was a cool design too, by the way. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that. It reveals to be one of the prom candidates, the bitchy, popular one. It's her dad.
Yeah, who it plays by
Chris Klein.
Chris Klein from American Pie, which was really cool to see him. I do have to admit, it was really awesome seeing him do this, and it was super fun that he was the killer.
It was.
One of the killers.
He was one of the killers. Yes. So they reveal, oh my God, it's him. And then his wife and his daughter are like, oh my God, like, why would you do this? And he's like, I did it for you because it's what you wanted. Because she wanted to be prom queen.
Yep.
And then it's revealed that actually the other killer is the mom.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, the daughter also psycho.
Yeah, they're all psycho.
They're all fucking psycho, which I really liked. I liked the reveal because there was her arch nemesis, the girl that lived across the street, the Granger girl whose mom killed her dad during prom and like ruined prom for everyone, and so her whole family's she's had a stigma attached to it her whole life.
Yeah,
which could have used a flashback, I must say.
Really could have.
It really could have, because the Tiffany girl, or I think her name was Tiffany.
It was convoluted as shit.
And like, it turns out that the mom of the bitchy girl, who was killer number 2, actually killed and framed her mom, and it was a thing. And yet she still left her alive, by the way.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I mean, that was convoluted. It could have used a flashback, I think, if you keep referencing this one prom and the things that happened at this one prom. What the actual fuck happened at the prom? You say these things, but you're not getting a flashback, which it's Fear Street. The whole series, the trilogy is like flashbacks and this and that, and you get story behind it.
Well, the thing for me is I didn't need a motive. I think the fact that if it just would have been, no, we wanted our daughter to win and we're crazy. Like, that would have been perfectly fine.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't like how the final act played out because I think one of my favorite performances was from the best friend of the main actress.
Right.
And she should have been there in that final act. So in the final act, it's your main girl. She thinks she's safe with that family. And then she has to fight the mom and the daughter herself.
And the daughter.
But her best friend, they had this whole arc where like they're arguing, they're best friends. And her best friend's like a more gothic. She's into horror movies and kind of stuff like that. But their stuff like ends like before the final act begins, and that best friend should have known something's up and should have came to that final act at that house.
Right.
And they should have teamed up and it should have solidified their friendship. And that's like how that movie should have ended, with them being best friends. Like, you know, we went through this arguing and all this stuff. Oh, I'm going to come help you, save you. We're going to kill these motherfuckers together in a badass way.
Right.
Much like, you know, Scream 6, how the sisters teamed up. Let's just kill these motherfuckers.
Right. Because the friend, I mean, my favorite part of this entire movie was the very beginning, which I thought was going to set it up for something cool, right? Because the friend plays a prank in class, and like she like they're making fun of, the whole class is like making fun of her best friend, and so she's like, whatever, you psycho cunty bitches, you should be dead, and she like cuts her arm off, and blood starts spraying with a cleaver.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh my god, and it was just a practical effect, which was a good one.
It was
good. So I thought, okay, that's a good start to this movie, because it was right at the beginning.
It was.
So I had high hopes. And then it failed spectacularly, because that's basically the only practical effects they fucking had.
The only practical gore effect they had was a fake effect in the movie.
Was a fake effect. So she's a horror fan. She knows what's up. She knew there was a second killer because she was being chased by both.
Yes.
Both. So only one killer is revealed. This girl is a horror fan. In your head, you're like, no, there is another one out here somewhere.
Why would you leave your best friend alone?
Why would you leave your best friend alone with the family of the killer?
Yes.
Suspiciousness.
Yeah.
Suspicious fuckingness.
Yeah.
And yet she does. She just gets in the ambulance and is gone.
I thought that was an awful missed opportunity where they really dropped the ball in that third act. And to that cleaver gag in the beginning, if they would have brought her best friend in at that final act, could have been a fucking cool callback. She could have grabbed a cleaver from the kitchen and cut someone's hand off. And speaking of cutting off hands, all the kills in this are fucking CGI. They have to be. They are. So there's the kill itself is cool. How it's executed is not. In the beginning, there's those
the paper cutters.
Paper cutters, the one that Josh Hartnett had in Faculty, and he ripped off, and one of those things. And the killer takes a guy's hand and he cuts it off. And it was all CG blood. And he does it to his other hand, CG and CG blood. Where that is such a simple, practical thing that like we could pull that off in like an hour if we had the equipment.
Right.
You
but
just do a fake hand, you cut off the fake hand and you shoot blood everywhere and you show it, and it's cool and it celebrates 80s horror.
Right. And you also did something similar and a practical fucking effect in a prank about 15 minutes before that.
Yeah.
So you couldn't just keep that up because you know how to do it. Clearly, you fucking did it.
That's where I just don't know where the money.
The budget went there in the fucking song.
The budget went to the budget went to the music. But yeah, there's this other cool kill where there's like a handsaw going into someone's head.
Right.
But it was all fucking CG. And you should have used a fake head. And it's okay if we as the audience can tell it's a little bit fake because we know you're using practical effects.
Right.
And that would be cool for me, and I think would be cool for a lot of horror fans. It would also celebrate this genre of film, because this movie, you can see there's like elements of cutting class, student bodies, prom night, Carrie, all those. It's in there. It's in the mix. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like everything was spread thin. Third act really missed opportunity, a huge one. And compared to like the Fear Street trilogy, it just sucks dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, yeah, compared to its the OGs,
Yeah.
it is by far less. Which is really sad. And I really hope that they continue with their plan and more Fear Street movies and don't let this one be like, whoop, we're done. Fucking learn from it. You had 3 stellar ones. Learn from it. What did we learn? And come back with a great one.
Yeah. Bring the director of the Fear Street trilogy back to either direct the next one or to produce it, to oversee it. Sam Raimi did that with his Evil Dead movies. He has a hand in it. He handpicks his director.
Right.
He makes sure that it's of the quality that needs to happen with these. This whole movie, Prom Fear Queen Street, should have only this whole movie should have been edited into a 5-minute flashback in a good movie. like really.
Yeah.
Like they should have seen this in the editing, be like, you know what, let's just shelve this, make a movie. Then we can talk about this lore thing that happened in the 80s, and we'll just like flash back to it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was just a letdown.
It was.
Though in the moment, do have to admit it was entertaining to watch to a degree, but after thinking about it, it's like, God damn.
Yeah. It's entertaining to a degree. We still are like, it was okay. It was entertaining. The music helps, I think.
You could walk away and do a thing and come back and you'd be fine.
Right.
It's one of those where like you didn't have to sit and you weren't engaged.
Right. And also, it wasn't a time cut movie,
Yeah.
Time cut. You got angry like I get angry.
Yeah, time cut really, that was last year,
Yeah, that's how I okay, is it a time cut bad?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's not time cut bad.
It's not time cut bad, but it's not great.
No.
It is below average.
Yep. I don't know. Well, what did you guys think of Prom Fear the Queen?
Prom Fear the Queen.
Prom Fear the Queen. Did you like it? Do you think it's way better than worse? You think it's way worse? What did you think? Do you like the Fear Street books? Do you like the Fear Street trilogy we got? Talk Fear Street to us.
Yeah, let us know. We want to hear from you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
This movie's a piece of shit.
It's not a full piece of shit. It's just...
Well, it's the dingleberry hanging off the butt of a hot chick then.
Okay, I accept that. Our Bloody Marys are dead.
So are we.
Bye-bye.
Bye.